Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well on this Friday Eve or Thursday, as some like to call it. Beginning with a beautiful sunrise out in Bushland, taking a look east. You can see the silhouette of Amarillo, but you can also see people hitting the roads this morning, starting their day. But that beautiful sunrise, yet again, not sure how many more of these we will receive, especially as we barrel toward the weekend. But something to enjoy this morning, those oranges and yellows. It's going to be a beautiful day across the panhandle, especially with mild temperatures expected. However, it's not beautiful everywhere this morning. Looking at Follette, we do have some down visibility, some foggy like conditions, especially in some of our northeastern areas. Taking a look at visibility, we're down to about 4 miles in Pampa, 7 in Canadian, 5 for Perryton, and 6 for Guyman. Clovis has recovered. They were down to 8 miles, so now they're up to 10, as well as Childress. But overall, it's going to be a beautiful morning. Right now, Amarillo is sitting at 60 degrees, winds shifting from the north northwest at 5 miles an hour, and our dew point sitting at 58. So starting to creep up a little bit, but nothing too muggy or anything of that nature. Taking a look at our temperatures across the area, 53 for Boise City, pair of fives for Dalhart, 62 for Canadian, 63 out in Clovis, 59 in Tulia, and 70 in Paducah as you begin your day. Now, looking at different phases of the day, this morning you start off on the cooler side, temperatures in the 50s and 60s. Might want to bring a light coat as you head out the door, but we'll warm up nicely later this afternoon and evening. Highs reaching the 80s by lunchtime and then skyrocketing into the mid to upper 90s later this afternoon. In fact, Paladar Canyon can possibly hit triple digits today. So if you are looking to do a hike or anything of that nature, make sure to stay hydrated, even if you're not going to Paladar Canyon. These temperatures, I know it's not the hottest temperature we've seen so far this summer season, but still make sure you are remaining hydrated, practicing, um, precautions such as taking frequent breaks and checking in on our most vulnerable to heat illness as well. Now, let's take a look at our model. We'll time this out. Afternoon highs getting into the mid and upper 90s. Can't rule out the possibility of a spot shower or thunderstorm trying to flare up over portions of eastern New Mexico, making its way into the Panhandles region. We try and clear out by tomorrow morning, but then that's when that cold front starts to sweep south. And with it comes those northerly winds coming in about anywhere between 10 to 20 miles an hour. That will stunt our high temperatures during the day. And pairing that with overcast conditions, as well as the possibility of rain off and on throughout the day, it's going to be a dreary and honestly a miserable day. It's not going to be our favorite, definitely not my pick of the week by any means. As we head into Saturday morning, for those who have any errands to run, it's going to be cooler. We're still having some cloud cover even throughout the afternoon. Can't rule out the possibility of some peaks of sun, but I think we're stuck under the clouds for quite a bit. As for today, we're just looking at general thunderstorms in terms of our severe outlook from the storm prediction center rather. Now, taking a look at our next weather maker, it's going to be this energy from the Pacific that's currently Hurricane Lorna, which is forecast to become a Category 2 hurricane. Now, with that, so now we have some better understanding about the strength of the storm when it makes its way across portions of Mexico. Now, when it comes to the southwest, that's when we start to get some uncertainty about its track. Now, there's scenario one that brings us lots of rain and tropical moisture overtakes our area. That will give us days of unsettled weather, off and on rain, and a good drenching for portions of the area. There's scenario two, in which that low decides to take a more southerly route. That won't give us as much rain, and that'll send the worst of it to areas in central Texas, who in some cases don't really need that much rain. But in any case, those are the two scenarios that we're looking at. So just taking a look at what it looks like, we'll have the low pressure creeping closer to the area over the weekend, and we'll just have those areas of low pressure and moisture kind of sticking around throughout the weekend. So here's what we know for sure and don't know, or that we still need to iron out. So for our known factors, we have the cold front moving through on Friday. We have a better understanding of its timing. Yesterday, we were still trying to iron it out. Looks like it'll come early morning on Friday. We have Pacifical tropical moisture that'll move into portions of the southwest, and that'll give us days of overcast and dreary conditions. That won't change. However, things that are unknown, the speed and the strength of that cold front. My concern with this cold front is that our high temperatures may in fact come during the morning rather than the afternoon and evening. Um, so in a case where our daytime highs recorded for the day come during the morning hours rather than the afternoon, especially when we're talking about that northerly breeze coming in about 10 to 20 miles an hour, ushering in that cooler air with those overcast conditions, off and on rain. Um, if you remember vaguely, it was not this past Monday, but the Monday before last that we had a similar cold front, and it came in with a force and kept our temperatures really cool. So it may be eerily similar to something like that, but we'll see what actually happens. The other unknown is going to be our shower and storm coverage. Again, it all depends on the position and the exact track of the storm. Now, for your forecast for today, we're going to enjoy our last day of unseasonable warmth, at least for the time being. Temperatures reaching the mid to upper 90s. Again, Powder Canyon could possibly reach 100 degrees later today. Unseasonably warm with lower rain chances. As we head into this evening, we'll cool down. Some of our northern areas can dip into the 50s yet again. 50s and 60s, calm conditions and cooler temperatures to be expected tomorrow. We have a wide range of temperatures. I know it kind of looks confusing, but some of our northern areas can have a high temperature in the low to mid 60s tomorrow, while some of our southern areas, I'm thinking about Childress and Cottle County, you guys can kind of still maintain possibly your warmth depending on how slow that front makes it to your location. If it stalls out and waits until, let's say, later the afternoon, you may still salvage your afternoon highs into the 80s, but that's not for certain, especially with how quick these cold fronts tend to move through the area. So we'll be cooling down throughout the day tomorrow. Now, taking a look at your 7-day tracker, mild and unseasonable warmth expected for today. Highs in the mid to upper 90s. Will cool down about 20 degrees or so tomorrow. Low with highs stuck in the 60s and 70s. And we keep the 70s around for the weekend. Rain chances are still kind of uncertain, depending again on that track. So these these pops, as we call it, may change depending on the exact track, but we do expect at least periodic periods for rainfall as well as those overcast conditions as well. We try to warm up as we kick off next week. Excuse me, back into the mid and upper 80s as we start to kick in that south southwest wind. I hope you all take care. Enjoy your day. Make sure to practice safe weather habits in terms of heat precautions. Do what you need to do. Drink water, wear sunscreen, check in on our most vulnerable, take frequent breaks, stay in the shade or cooled areas if you can. If you can, make sure to join us for our midday show at 11. If not that, Matt will have an update for you guys at 5 p.m.